Hi, in this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the ways in which crystals have profoundly impacted my life. And the only reason I'm going to be talking about this is because I know that some people might find the information that I'm going to share beneficial for them in their journey, because most of us seem to go through similar processes, and sometimes some people wonder how they can really overcome certain challenges and certain things that are happening in their lives. And just maybe by hearing my story, someone might get, activated to understand and to become aware that they can get to the other side of the portal. There's so many ways in which people become aware about truth, and there are so many ways in which people really understand who they truly are and how people get to remember who they truly are and the power that they truly have. And for me, one of those ways has been through dreams, and especially through crystals. So crystals have really been a major tool that has really brought me through many adventures of awe and wonder into the understanding that my life can really be better. My life was never really this way. And I can't really say this way. I say in terms of the energy that I hold and the light that I hold. I was always very sad for a long time, for many years. It's just until the recent years that my life truly transformed, and that was largely when crystals came into my life. I had a spiritual awakening, and then crystals came into my life, and then, oh my gosh, the light just began to come in as I cooperated with the process and said yes to the information that I was receiving. My life just truly began to take on a whole new, trajectory. It just became a life of wow, laughter, joy, wonder, love, and just an introduction to a whole new world of beauty. My life never really was like this. And so I would just like to encourage anyone who's watching this video and who will probably maybe resonate with the information that I'm about to share, that crystals are truly loving beings that are here truly to help those whose hearts are open. And really, it's not an accident that people have crystals. It's not an accident that a crystal has come into your life. So just think about that and maybe look at crystals from a different perspective, because crystals truly are life changers. They truly are loving beings. They truly are the breadcrumbs that you left here, to remind you of who you truly are. And this is a time really of enjoying life. This is truly the thing that I'm beginning to understand, that life is really here to be enjoyed. Otherwise, why are we here if we cannot enjoy life? And why should we keep being sad and just being depressed and just being caught up in situations that are untenable, when life is truly here to be enjoyed? And so there are obviously certain tools that are here, like crystals and other tools. People work with different kinds of tools, but I'm only going to talk about crystals because I know crystals, I understand crystals, and I know many people who will probably watch this video know what time it is with these crystal beings. They're here to help us. So, I want to say that the first things that crystals taught me was to really know that I was really a part of this world. For a long time, I never felt like I belonged. I never felt like I was wanted. I never felt like I was supported. I just didn't belong here. I didn't belong in the world. I didn't belong with anybody. I didn't belong with anything. I just felt like, oh my gosh, what am I doing on earth? I never felt that this world was my home, so to speak. And because I came from a Christian background, I never used to think about heaven as being my home or earth as being my home. I was just lost in limbo. I just found myself here, and I never felt like I belonged. I just can't explain that feeling, but it was just a feeling of not belonging to the earth, not belonging to the world, not belonging with anybody or anything. And it's not like I didn't have a family that loved me or people that loved me or cared for me. I just never felt that I was wanted. I kind of always felt isolated and not supported by anything, and I suffered from feelings of abandonment. And obviously, because I suffered from feelings of abandonment, the outside world reflected that to me. Now I understand that it's as within, so without, and everything is energy. If you feel abandoned inside, people outside will mirror that back to you. If you don't feel abandoned, people outside will mirror that back to you. But I always felt abandoned, and the universe really, really showed me how abandoned I was. I mean, this is not truth, it really is not truth, but this is how I felt. And it's just until a few years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, that I realized, oh my gosh, Caroline, you don't feel abandoned anymore. And then I realized, Mother Nature introduced crystals to me, and just activated a love of crystals to me and helped me through my bringing the crystals into my space and interacting with them. Mother Nature helped me to understand that I belonged. The earth that I never felt part of was now a huge part of my life through the love of crystals. And the messages that came through the crystals, and me being surrounded by crystals, and the awareness came to me that, Caroline, nature has come into your space, has come into your heart, and you belong, to show you that you belong, that you are loved. I mean, I had never seen crystals before. I saw trees, I saw, the sea and the beauty of the earth. Maybe I didn't even see the beauty of the earth. I was blind to a lot of these things because I was so miserable. But nature showed me, Caroline, you belong. You are wanted. You are part of the earth. You have a connection to the earth. And that connection came through the love of crystals. See how caring Mother Nature is to us? The universe loves us. The universe loves me. I began to see that I was truly loved because nature was like, well, you don't see me out there, then I'm going to activate that love in you, and then you will begin to understand that you are part of nature. Crystals have become such a huge part of me that there is no doubt in my heart that I belong, that I'm grounded, and that feeling of just not belonging to the earth has gone. So one of the profound ways that crystals have helped me, and may help anyone who feels like they don't belong to the earth, is by helping me understand that we really truly belong to the earth. Now I can look around and see the earth around me and see the crystals around me. Crystal wisdom. This is Siri the owl. This is my Labradorite owl. And it always represents wisdom. It's such a beauty. It's called Siri. Siri is an Swahili word, and Swahili is an African language, and Swahili for secret. So this owl carries a lot of secrets, and it carries a lot of wisdom. It's Labradorite, and the wisdom that it has brought to me through Siri and all the other crystals is that I belong to the world. So if you're not feeling that you belong and you have crystals, that's the message right there. You belong to the world. You belong to the earth. You are supported and loved by Mother Nature. Stand firm. You're covered in that sense. So that was the first thing that I learned. Another thing that I learned is that crystals helped me find my voice. I never used to be able to speak. I could not articulate myself in front of people. I was shy. I was embarrassed. I have to say, I didn't even like the sound of my voice. I was so self-conscious. I was always comparing myself to other people. I was always afraid to speak. I would just get this like hot potatoes in my voice when I tried to speak. But I want to say that working with crystals, one by one, working with aquamarine crystal, working with the blue crystals, and maybe just working with crystals generally, helped me boost my self-esteem to the point where I started speaking my truth. I started listening to the sound of my voice. I started liking the sound of my voice. I started standing in my true, authentic power, speaking about things that were true to me, that were personal to me, that meant something to me. I even came on YouTube and started speaking about things, something that I would never have imagined in 1,000 years. I was just never a person who would articulate myself, especially vocally. I loved to write. I wrote a lot of things. I wrote 2 books. I wrote for many, many magazines, but I would never, ever imagine myself speaking especially in YouTube. I was so on YouTube, I was so self-conscious of myself. But crystals, my love for crystals, and working with crystals and understanding the messages of crystals and believing and trusting in the wisdom of the crystals. When I wore aquamarine, I felt myself getting all these messages about my throat chakra and why I should communicate, why I should feel, I should speak authentically, why I should stand in my truth. And I started getting bolder and bolder and more confident. So if you're working with crystals, really, truly, and you will find your voice somehow. You will find your voice. So just go with it and run with it. So that's another of the some of the profound things that truly changed my life. And the rest is history from that point. So now I'm just like, I don't hesitate to do what I gotta do, speak what I gotta speak. I'm much more confident. I find that, I love it. Okay. So crystals truly, truly helped me come out of my shell and really start communicating authentically without caring what anyone else thinks, without comparing myself to others, and truly just believing and trusting in the authenticity of who I am. It really is so nice to just be you and do you and speak the way you speak and own your own personality and just put that flavor into everything, your own personal flavor into everything you do. It's just awesome. So that's another thing that crystals helped me with. So it might help someone who's struggling to do whatever they want to do. Crystals, if they're in your life, they're truly there to change your life. And then you know what? Crystals truly helped me accept myself. They truly helped me love myself. They truly helped me heal myself. And these are some of the things that people don't usually want to hear, in my opinion. I mean, I work with a lot of people and I do a lot of energy work and I do a lot of coaching with so many people. People want magic. They don't want to change themselves. They don't want to work on self-love. When you hear, when you have conversations about self-love, these are usually conversations that people don't want to hear. Somehow people just say, oh, well, it just sounds so like something that I don't want to touch on. People want magical things, alchemical things, mystical things. But when it comes to self-love and working on their self-worth or, things like that, it's usually a subject that most people don't want. But really, I understood that there is no going anywhere without that aspect, without loving yourself, without peeling the layers, without accepting yourself, without going in and embracing the wholeness and the totality of who you are, without unifying your mind, your spirit, and your body, without accepting the beauty of who you are, without letting go of things that are not you, and accepting everything that you are. Self-acceptance, and I have to say that self-acceptance is so important, because sometimes we just sort of want to be like other people, or we feel like the qualities that other people have are much more important than who we truly are, not understanding our own beauty. And in that sense, we reject ourselves. So I began to learn from crystals, because the messages were always about me. Every time I worked with crystals, it was not about another person. It was about Caroline. These are the issues that are coming up. And those issues did not involve anyone else. They always involved me. So it always forced me to look into myself, to start loving myself. When the crystal spoke, it wasn't about Caroline, you have to love that person. It was always, do you love yourself? What is this issue that's coming up in your life? Why are you feeling this way about this particular thing? What is this thing about your relationship with that person or this situation and that? It was never about someone else. Crystals led me deep into myself and forced me to come to love myself, to heal myself, to let go of things that didn't matter. There's no escaping this process. I mean, I wish there was a way to escape this process, but crystals are about remembering who we are, about loving ourselves, about embracing ourselves, about owning who we truly are, because you truly cannot love another person. I'm learning that you cannot love anyone else without loving yourself. We cannot give to other people what we ourselves don't have. So crystals brought that message home to me very, very, very clearly. The process of loving myself led me into adventures where I had to work with other people, get into energy healing, detox, do everything that was necessary and possible to bring me into alignment with myself. And I began to realize that if I missed a step, it would still go around in circles. I would not make any progress forward. I would still be forced to sort of come back and deal with that situation if I wanted to advance in my life. And the thing is, there are no shortcuts to anything. So most of the time I have discovered that, it's better to get with the program and love myself quickly and then work with the process, and then I'm going to move to the next step. This is how wisdom comes. You learn something and then you grow. You learn something and then you move to the next rung of the ladder. You learn something and then you move. This is the way process of growth and expansion. For many people, it might happen through other means, but for me, it was just a matter of this step and then the next step and then the next step. And many times I felt if I skipped a step, I would not be able to progress, at least in truth, to the next level. So crystals really truly helped me in the process of self-love and self-healing. And then, once you really, really get to this program, I'm telling you, your life just becomes something else. There's always these rewards, the rewards that come with really loving yourself. Then when you love yourself, then you can shine. Then others can love you. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful process. And then again, another thing that I'd like to say is how crystals also helped me understand the whole concept about different dimensions, the existence of different dimensions. When you're working with crystals and listening to crystals, you begin to know that there's other levels of beings. I mean, I knew about these things before, but it was just on a very mental level. But working with crystals and hearing the messages of crystals helped me understand what it meant to really listen to all my intuitive senses, what it meant to engage my clairs, my clairvoyance, my clairaudience, my clairsentience, my claircognizance, my heart chakra knowledge. All these things were as a result of being able to listen to crystals. Then I knew, oh my gosh, I have to listen, not with my physical ears most of the time, but I have to listen with my inner ears. I might have to listen with my inner eyes. I have to listen with my feelings about things. Then because of this, I began to get curious about intuition, about opening up psychically to other levels. And this really led me on a journey that just totally exploded me in so many ways. So other than that, working with energy also really opens up a lot of things for us. And so I got into a lot of energy work, and because of that, I tell you, it just becomes a whole new world. When you're sitting there and you can just sort of tune in and tap into a lot of things without much difficulty. Crystals truly, truly were the things, the beings, the loving beings that helped me really, really expand and learn how to engage my intuitive senses in ways that have been really, really helpful for me, and in many ways helpful to other people. And then also crystals truly, truly helped me understand my power, in the sense that it made me realize that I truly am a powerful being. I truly am a powerful being. Most people tend to shy away from this concept of taking back their power, but we truly have to take back our power, because this is the truth. It is nothing egoistic. It is truly the truth of who we are. When you take responsibility, when I learned how to take responsibility for my own life and make the changes in my own life and see the results, I realized, oh my gosh, Caroline, you are truly, truly a powerful, powerful being. So whoever is out there telling us that we are not powerful, is truly not in truth, because the truth is, when we truly take action and make changes in our own lives and do what we got to do, then we realize that the results are just awesome and amazing, and we truly realize that we are powerful beings. So we are not really putting the responsibility of turning our lives around to other people, but we're taking that responsibility in our own hands and truly, truly transforming our lives. So crystals have really been wisdom to me. They truly have been triggers and activators in a way, and they truly have helped me evolve and grow. I truly am not the person that I was a few years ago, and I want to encourage anyone that we can all change our lives. I'm not the most perfect person, but truly, truly, sometimes I just stand in awe of how my life has transformed within a short period of time, just by listening to my intuition, following my heart, trusting, saying yes, yes, yes to opportunities, and yes, yes, yes to everything. And really, it's just so, so awesome. So I would like to hear how those who work with crystals have really, really experienced transformations in their lives and what has been the most profound change that has happened in your life. If you use other tools to help you in your process of growth and evolution, I would like to hear about that as well. And we're all here right now trying to change lives, trying to change our own lives, and really, really making an impact, whether we know it or not. Because every change, every good and positive change we make in our lives is reflected in the collective. So let's just keep, shining and radiating and beaming and transforming our lives. So please leave a comment, guys. I would love to continue this conversation with you. Leave your comments below. I love you, and let's keep shining, crystal lovers. Love you. Bye. See you next time.